The time has come. The GRC diecasts are finally here. Now, they're not quite everywhere yet. In fact, they're not even in the United States yet. Let's go through it real quick here. So Case H is the first case of singles with GRC diecast in it, McQueen and Francesco to be specific, and that case has hit Mexico, Greece, Canada, and Australia, not the US though. This 2-pack case with McQueen and Shu in GRC paint jobs, also Ken and Janoki and Justin Roadritter, who we reviewed the other day, has hit Brazil and Canada, but not the US. In fact, the US is not even close to this 2-pack case because they have yet to get the case before this one. So it's a little tough right now. Distribution is a little inconsistent, but fingers crossed, we're hoping that some GRC stuff hits the US outside of mini racers. And of course, that playset that we reviewed back in May that gave us our first flavor of the GRC racers. Thankfully, it not only included McQueen, but also Francesco to give us something else to chew on as we awaited the official diecast. Now, these are great. We're going to compare them to the diecast. In fact, McQueen has a different expression, so that's really cool. It's almost like you get a determined GRC McQueen in the playset, even though it's plastic. Now, in this video, we are more so focusing on McQueen. We will unbox both, go through the package, but they deserve their own separate videos. There's a lot to go through with each of these brand new paint jobs. They absolutely deserve their own video. Plus, both are being released as singles. In fact, Case J houses the single version of Shu Todoroki, which is just now being found down in Australia, in addition to Greece. So basically, if you live in some areas of the world, you can get these together and you can get them separately, which is just crazy. You know, the US is really struggling right now. No big deal though. We'll get through it. I love the card art that they are utilizing for the GRC line here. I don't know, maybe they had AI animate it, but this looks great. I love the mix of Willie's Butte there in the background with this new GRC track. You have the stands up here. Now, it would be cool if they filled the stands in, but empty's fine too. They must be practicing on an off day, probably like a Tuesday at 7 in the morning. But yeah, it looks really cool. Great design. I love the finish line design here. You have the number of each character on the sides here, 95 and 7. The names are underneath, which is highly unusual. All the names for everything else is usually above the blister, but here they are below. So yeah, very cool. Awesome to see the World Grand Prix racers back in a meaningful capacity. The GRC logo up there looks good. And one last thing about the art is that I am just grateful that they're animated and they have created individual new artworks for each character, because we have to remember they don't always do this. For the NASCAR line, it's just McQueen on every single. For Thomasville, for Fireball Beach, for a lot of other expanded universe lines, the artwork does not vary between character. Endurance Racers, another great example. While it did for Ice Racers, Carbon, Carnival, and even a lot of the XRS stuff as well, it's not a given. I just want to say I'm glad that it's different here. I'm also glad it's in the main line. Like, being in the main line just gives it a little bit more of a homier feel, because you know that it's not limited to anywhere in particular, like more so than usual. Like, the main line's the most accessible form of release. Whereas, you know, haulers, only Walmart. NASCAR line, only Walmart. Glow Racers, by the way, the art's all the same for those, only Target and other weird stores. Well, yeah, I mean, no Walmart, basically, for Glow Racers. But for stuff in the main line, it's available everywhere. So, I think that's a great thing. And also costs less than, like, a Glow Racer. On the back here, you have McQueen and Shu Todoroki. Nice stock images. And again, I like the animation here on the back. You have Willie's Butte in the background. And yeah, it just looks good. This would be great, like, to have as a digital file to use as backgrounds for just like creating fun images and whatnot. Creating thumbnails as well, which I want to come up with some good thumbnail action, some good thumbnail fodder for all the GRCs, and I have yet to start working on them. So we'll have to start doing that soon because I'm recording this video. But yeah, let's open this bad boy up here, or these bad boys.
And I don't pretend to know how you feel. Either you won't or you will, but I gave it a try. Even if you too blind to see.
Shu, my friend, you look ravishing, but this is not your time to shine. We will be back for your own video, your own personal stomping grounds later on in the week. This is McQueen's time to shine. Now, there is this really cool concept art that I always show in my content reveal videos because there isn't a whole lot else to show when GRC cars come up. And it shows the different angles of Lightning McQueen. There are some really cool pieces to this concept art if you just pause and take a gander at it for a while. So I will put that up on the screen there for your enjoyment. It also has a really cool version of the artwork that is not the same as what is on the card. So yeah, just good stuff all around there. I have a ton of McQueens over here on my left side that I want to compare this guy to eventually. I mean, I just brought out the whole arsenal basically. I mean, we have McQueens up the wazoo. None of which I feel are great comparisons, but that just is a testament to how different and how great this new version is. By the way, I've not really said, but I am a big fan of the GRCs. I cannot wait to start collecting them. I hope it continues in the next year so we can get Rip Klitschkonski, Lewis Hamilton, Jeff Gorvette. I don't care. Give me Cal Weathers. Does not matter. Give me Mater as a 155. Who cares? I just want more, right? I think it's great. Again, in the main line, that's awesome. But we will do a really solid comparison with the plastic version here as we go through it. But I just wanted to focus on McQueen himself, Diecast McQueen himself. I love the expression. He's not looking off to the side or anything, but I'm totally cool with that because this is a just really strong, solid, joyful expression. Black hood there with the GRC logo and a little sliver of the bolt that now comes across his roof, and that's a new thing for McQueen in addition to being on the side there. But yeah, the black looks really good, helps break up the red, provides a nice contrast. I mean, we've gotten a lot of red Lightning McQueens over the years, so to get something that's a little different is really refreshing. I like the wheels here. They are very reminiscent of the World Grand Prix style. In fact, they're pretty much identical to the World Grand Prix style wheels, just colored basically inversely. Instead of red trim with gray in the center, it's red in the center with gray trim. So literally the exact opposite, just the inverse of the World Grand Prix wheels, but the spokes and everything are structured the same. You got the Lightyear text there on the walls of the tire. It looks really cool. But yeah, you could see that these differ from, McQueen's usual Piston Cup tires there. Rust-eze Racing Center, which were pretty much the same as his Cars 1 tires. The NASCAR wheels, I keep saying tires, but you know what I mean. Somewhat similar to the Carbon Racer ones, but no. It's the World Grand Prix, without a doubt. And it's also, obviously, the World Grand Prix model for Lightning McQueen, which I think contributes to how awesome this series is, because everyone prefers like the original version of Lightning McQueen before they slimmed down his body for Cars 3. And what I mean by that, they went from this like thicker version of Lightning McQueen, the original, to a slimmer version. I don't know why they changed the model. It makes no sense at all for Cars 3. Every time they release like a Cars 1 McQueen, like Cactus McQueen, it's still the same as the original size. So I don't know, it just doesn't compute in my brain. But either way, World Grand Prix McQueen is a great decision because it makes him look like younger and a little bit more next gen, which is what we want. We don't want to think of McQueen as like retiring right now. I mean, especially, when you're trying to sell merchandise, you don't necessarily want to have your main character like not race anymore in the consumer's mind. Like that's just not smart, not ideal. I like the black outline there around the windshield. No contingency sponsors. They were like, guys, these things are going to be made in Thailand. Thailand sucks at contingency sponsors, so how about we just don't do them? And hey, hell, I love that call. That's a great decision. I mean, we all know that they struggle. This is from Vietnam, but these also are not great there. Where is a good Thailand McQueen with some... Man, do I not have a Thailand McQueen? Well, here's one that is pretty bad. Actually, no, that's the wrong one. Actually, no, that is the right one. Oh, yeah, there they are. Yeah, not great down yonder. All right, here we go. I found the Thailand McQueen. with contingency sponsors. Yeah, I mean, they're just not clear. They don't look wonderful. Like, you could tell what they are, you could tell who's who, but just removing them all together provides a cleaner look for McQueen and pushes the focus on the decals that actually look really good. I love the white bolt. Looks very next gen. I like the lines going through it, like the hexagonal, I believe, yeah, that would be a hexagon. The hexagonal pattern that's scattered throughout the back half. 95 being in blue, like it feels weird adding some of these stranger colors to McQueen, but it looks awesome. Highly reminiscent of the Ice Racer Lightning McQueen, which we will get to, and maybe even if you want to stretch it, Dynaco Lightning McQueen. But yeah, outside of those, usually the blue is not integrated much onto McQueen, but I love it. The blue trim and the black trim on the white bolt looks great. The GRC logo, you have the gas cap. It even kind of blends on into the wing, which has a great logo in and of itself, GRC. So that's a slightly different logo than on the hood there. As you can see, it's connected to a finish line and kind of looks like a circuit. Like the font in and of itself is very reminiscent of how they would picture a circuit, like the track. Like when they showed each of the 3 World Grand Prix courses at the beginning of Cars 2, just before the Tokyo race was supposed to start, this font looks like that. You know what's awesome? The decals are on the window bars. See how that window bar is different from that one, which is slightly different from that one because it's got a little sliver. That's so cool. That is awesome attention to detail. I love that, guys. I love it. This is one of the few McQueens that does not have his signature on the roof edges there. Interesting. Now, by the time you get to the back, McQueen's a completely different color. He's like maroon, purplish almost, plum. You could even say, like, the gradient here is very subtle, but he goes from red all the way out to the purple. And wow, there are contingency sponsors. They were just hiding. You know what? I don't want to talk about those yet, so we're going to get to those later. Does he have double gas caps? What in the whack? Now there's another imprintation for a gas cap on his right side, which is never usually there. I guess the World Grand Prix version of McQueen did have that, though. Yeah, he did have 2. Huh. I didn't know that. That's interesting, but cool. But yeah, no, it looks really cool. I love the gradient and the transition to the darker red here in the back. GRC 95 looks good. And this is going to be one of the few cars, one of the few like decaled racers that are not symmetrical. They exist out there, and I should have known this. I do remember hearing about this, but yeah, this one side has the bolt in full. And of course, we know the roof is not symmetrical, but you get on this side, there's no bolt. You have the GRC logo there, and then the contingency sponsors, which yeah, they are horrible. I can't really make out any of them besides Rust-eze, Sally's Cozy Cone Motel, Flo's VA Cafe, Dynaco's in there. But yeah, most people would not be able to make those out. They are pretty similar to the NASCAR McQueen's contingency sponsors that we were looking at the other day that honestly now look better, way better in comparison to this GRC McQueen. But both center around Radiator Springs businesses versus other Piston Cup companies. So yeah, that looks bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mattel. I absolutely adore this release. This probably is a top 10 release for the year, but I can't do it with those sponsors. On the base here, T08A means he was produced during the 8th week of 2024 at the A factory. Made in Thailand, obviously. Copyright 2021 because that's when they copyrighted World Grand Prix Lightning McQueen from Thailand, essentially. Right? I think so. Does seem a little late for them to have released World Grand Prix McQueen. I think it is. Actually, no. You know why it's copyrighted 2021? It's because that was the first, not the first year. The first year was 2022, but it was putting it into effect. And usually copyright is the year before the item comes out. That they did the hooks. The holes in the bases for Mater's hook. So he could tow GRC McQueen here if he wanted to from the front or the back. Almost every McQueen that comes out, even Cactus Lightning McQueen, has those holes, which is really cool. NASCAR McQueen doesn't, though. Sad. But yeah, that's interesting. But that is why the copyright is a couple years ago now. So yeah, beautiful car. I love it. As of right now, he's top 10 for me, maybe even higher. I don't think Shu beats him, although I like Shu. I think some of the other ones have a chance of beating out McQueen, maybe Francesco or Raul. But right now, yeah, Shu is, I mean, we'll see. We'll review him in a couple days and we will see. But yeah, compared to the plastic version, you obviously have a different expression there, which is a good thing. All the decals, though, are pretty much the same. You do have more detailed wheels with the light year tacks and the trim. The window bars are the same on this version, which is cool. I love that detail. The fact that they didn't just make the window bars one color. Now, the plastic version does not feature this gradient that we have here. It also kind of cuts off some of the decals. But there you have it. Oh, the wing doesn't have the decals on the side there on the flares. But the contingency sponsors might be a little clearer on the plastic version if we're being honest. All right, so let's compare him now to a bunch of other McQueens because that's always fun, right? I do think he is reminiscent of the Ice Racer version of McQueen, like I said, because the red and the blue. Both of these do a great job of pulling it off together. Two seemingly incongruous colors coming together to make a really cool design. Let's not bang them together though, Mr. Docket. We're not trying to do that today. Which is your favorite though, GRC or Ice Racer? A lot of people will say GRC right now because of recency bias, but I don't know. Ice Racer version stands up. I will say the Carbon Racer version stands up heavily as well. Not only because he looks so different, he's got new wheels and everything. The carbon fiber is beautiful, but also he's got an entirely new wing. That's what I loved about the Carbon series because it gave like 5 of the World Grand Prix racers like new wings. Like Francesco, Jeff, Miguel, McQueen, Lewis Hamilton. Here are a couple new wings for you. What would have been awesome is if like Raul Sarul, who is just oddly shaped as it is, or Carlo Veloso, like if one of those got new wings, I think Rip Klitschkonski got a new wing as well. And McQueen's is not even as drastically changed as some of those other ones. Like Francesco's wing is humongous compared to the one that he usually would have. But yeah. Max and Frosty, unfortunately, did not get new wings. Nigel did not get a new wing. Carla did not get a new wing. Here he is compared to the regular Lightning McQueen from Cars 1. Not much of a comparison, but you gotta show it. I mean, it's the original version of McQueen. Why did I bring out the Pixar Fest version? I have no idea, but we're gonna show them anyways, because why not? Why the hell not? Just wait till I pull out the Pixar Fest shoot to the Roki in a couple days. You guys are going to be absolutely slack-jawed. All right, Dynaco Lightning McQueen. This is a original Dynaco Lightning McQueen from 2006, as you could tell by absolutely no markings on the base and Disney Pixar Thailand. This is essentially the original Thailand variant. So don't let anyone tell you, man, I want Mattel to release Dynaco McQueen from Thailand. Why have they not released Dynaco McQueen from Thailand yet? They did, bro. Like 18 years ago, okay? Nah, I know what you guys mean. Original Thailand cars are a lot more similar to the Chinese ones that followed than the Thailand ones that succeeded the Chinese ones, if that makes sense, which it should. Rust-eze Racing Center Lightning McQueen. Slim Jim model of McQueen. Did that rhyme? Rust-eze Racing Center? I just said McQueen probably twice. Alright, I think that's all the McQueens. Well, not this one. I did want to show you guys him as well. Just to get kind of like a taste of everything, right? D100 McQueen that is kind of forgotten now. I feel like all the D100s from last year just got super forlorn like really quickly. And the NASCAR version, which is somewhere. My hand is moving. Yeah, there we go. What a great year for new McQueens. You get probably two of the best paint jobs ever to be featured on Lightning McQueen within the span of like a month. Within the span of 30 days, here are like two amazing McQueen paint jobs. Probably the best you've seen in like the last 10 years. Outside of like Dragon Lightning McQueen, which would have, fallen outside of that 10 years. Or Carbon or Carnivore Ice, depending on how you rank all those. But I know for certain that none of the XRS McQueens surpass either of these two, at least for me. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, who is your favorite GRC racer at the moment? Could be someone that's upcoming and not released yet. It could be one of these guys. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye now.